Good morning. Good morning. Today is what? The 16th of February, 16th of July, and the season is finished. And yeah, so we are now full in motion in terms of buying and selling of players. There is no soccer or football going on. So it's just the transfer market that is now, I think every team is now looking at their squads and try to see where they can adjust, who can they sell, who can they bring in. So yeah, the first thing that I wanted to speak about is Nicholas Jackson. Um, the funny thing about it is that Manchester United, out of all the teams, they've got an interest on Nicholas Jackson, and I was actually looking at it and say, what does that mean to Chelsea? Because what I was looking at it is that if you look back in the last two games that we actually played, or maybe just to give context, just after the red card. In fact, during that match, you could see that Dilap was the first choice. He came in, he played, and then Nicholas Jackson came in as a substitute to deal up. And then Nicholas Jackson, after 10 minutes or 5 minutes, he got a red card. Thereafter, things changed, right? Because we then brought in what Delap, and then we brought in the next match. Actually, Joao Pedro started, right? And then he scored two goals, two fantastic goals. And then so what I'm trying to say is that you could see that there was a shift of Jackson starting the match, right? You could see that because Nicola Jackson was suspended for 2 games, right? And then there was Delap. Then Delap was also foolish enough to get two yellow card, and then he was then suspended. And then the only striker that we had was now Joao Pedro, and then he started, and then he was fantastic. He scored two goals in in that match. So thereafter, you could also see as well that Joao Pedro looked like the first choice striker, and then Dilap was on the bench, and then Nicholas Jackson, and all those kind of things. So looking at that, you could see that already the coach's mind is now um, saying Nicholas Jackson is now our third striker. So this is where now the problem starts, because can you imagine you being the top striker, where everyone last season was saying that we can't do without this guy, we can't do without this player, we can't, how are we going to play, and then in the next thing, if you are not playing or you're injured, you will now start to scrape around for a false nine. Pedro goes play number 9, and then the next thing, we look at who else can try. We tried Tyrese George and on the number on the false 9 and all those kind of things, because we didn't have a second a second striker. So all of a sudden, you were the top man, the top marksman, and now all of a sudden you are now the third choice. So what it means for me, if I was the coach, I would say, you know what, I don't want to also to create problems in the long run, because with this mentality of saying I'm still the best striker, whatever, or you know what, you should just go. And also the money that is there, 60 million or 55 million, can actually assist Chelsea. So my thinking is that if Manchester United wants Nicholas Jackson, yes, they can just come and take him, and then we go and look at. We have got Mark Geo as well, who can also be our third choice striker. I don't think he will then say, "I want to play week in, week out." He will play as and when it's necessary, and that will be good for us. So I think Nicholas Jackson should go. That's ready case thing. Because the other thing that we also need to be very careful with is that careful of is that if we keep him, we doesn't sell him. What will then happen is that the next season is actually his value is also going to depreciate. So it's actually going to be difficult for us to sell him once we put him on the what on the bench. So I would say let's sell him now and then deal with other options. Then the next story that I also wanted to bring on is, especially on the Chelsea side, is Gerald Horto. I think the story is still coming in. I think Chelsea will eventually put in a bid for him, but the man is crazy, man. What they're asking is crazy. I think they're asking about 60 million euros. For me, it doesn't make sense. The guy is too young. I think he's 19, 20. I think he's 19 years old. He hasn't been tested in the in Europe. I think his last year was his best season for Ajax. So he'll be good for us. I think the good thing about him is that he can play both as a left back, or also as a central defender on the left side. So that would be a better option for Chelsea for him. Let's see what happens in the next coming weeks. I wouldn't mind for him to come, but 60 million euros is far fetched. I think it's a lot of money. We can't do that. Yeah, so let's see if Chelsea is going to be interested. So I wanted to also to come to you on this bidding war that Liverpool and Newcastle just started. um my understanding is that Liverpool has approached Newcastle for Isak. Isak, we all know is a prolific striker. He can score goals left, right, and center. I think he's one of the best strikers that is in the world at the moment. And I think Liverpool it will be good for Liverpool to have that kind of a striker, considering that they won the league last year and they're expected to do well again this year and also in the Champions League. And also, it's a very big institution, been far much better than Newcastle. So I think if he has to go, he has to go to Liverpool. But I think Newcastle as well has said no to Liverpool approach. But what I'm not understanding is that they've got a top striker, and they're also going for another top striker, Eketike. They have already submitted a 70 million pounds bid already, and Frankfurt has said no. I think my understanding they want 100 million euros or something like that. So on the Newcastle side, I'm not understanding why they would want to keep Isak and then bring another top striker who is also wants to start at the same with Isak. So Liverpool is then said that if they don't want to sell Isak to us, then they are going to bid for Ekitike as well. So let's see what happens. Who is going to land who at the end of this bidding war? Yeah, for me, it's the difference is the same. These are two big teams. They are also going to compete for the league. So yeah, let's see actually what's going to happen. Then Manchester United, they've also bidded for, or they are in discussion with Emil Martinez, the goalkeeper for Villa. Martinez, I think he requested that he wanted to leave Aston Villa last season, and I think we saw him saying his goodbyes to the Villa supporters, even though he got a red card the last game. But I think he was very happy to leave the team. So considering also that. Manchester United first choice goalkeeper will not be available. I think for the first 2 or 3 games, I think they would want a goalkeeper well experienced. For me, also Chelsea could have gone for him. Considering the games that we are going to face, going to have this coming season, you'd also want a very top class goalkeeper. Even though he might not start all the games, but I think he's going to assist us in terms of maybe in the smaller competitions, or even start, because this guy won the World Cup a season or so ago with Argentina. So he's still there. He's 33 years old. And so for me, a 33-year-old is just like a 29-year-old infield player. So let's see what happens if he goes to Manchester United. Good luck to him. Yeah. So in terms of Chelsea, I think yeah, most of the things that we would want, we know that we need a left back. We also need a goalkeeper that also is going to cover up for us. And I think it's also the right time to look at our wingers, who is going to be who on the wing. We know that we have got Gittins on the left side. So who is going to also deputize him on the left side, because I think we wanted two wingers on the left and two wingers on the right. And then, yeah, and we will already have two strikers that we have. The other thing that I also wanted to look at is at number 10, who is going to play at number 10 with Cole Palmer. You know, he can't play all the 90 games that we are going to have next season. So you also need another number 10 who is going to assist him to play there. So we might bring back Chukwumeka on that from Dortmund because he's on loan, so you would want him. Felix, I hear that he should be departing to Benfica. Benfica, I think they're already in an advanced stage to negotiate his fees and so forth. So I think this one should be done quickly for Felix to leave, which is good for us. It's money coming, and yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's what I had this morning. I think during the course of this month, we should be touching there, here, and there in terms of the news, because of course the season is finished. We don't have football on a day basis or on a weekly basis. But of course, we would then bring the transfer news: who is going where, who is going where, who is being sold, who is coming, and yeah, so that at least by the time we start the season, at least we are aware which team has bought who for how much, if the fees are for public consumption, because most of these teams now they will just say undisclosed amount, so you will not know. But yeah, let's talk in the afternoon. I think we should have some few here we goes in the afternoon, because here we go in the afternoon because there's now pressure for most of this team to finalize their deals. As for Chelsea, I think for me we are ready to start the season with what we have. We can still add here and there, but I think Chelsea is ready. Um, Arsenal, yes, they should be also be announcing Madueke. They should be um, announcing one or two other players that they are chasing. There is a defender I think they are busy with. We should hear it in the afternoon as well, or in the tomorrow, who they are bringing in. Gyökeres as well, I think is almost done. It's other news that we should be expecting in the afternoon as well, because Gyökeres is a big signing for Arsenal. So yeah, so teams are now making sure that they bring in their top transfer targets, and also making sure that they release players. And we all know Manchester United, they are trying also to release quite a number of players. We will be talking about it in the afternoon as well. So yeah, have a good morning and afternoon. We'll catch up later on. Bye bye.